The world is full of chaos. Today, half of the world indulges into some kind of war within the country or with the neighboring countries. Every continent is burning in the flame of terror and chaos. Trump's Gaza plan, a vision for peace or a billion-dollar land grab. On February 5th, 2025, Donald Trump stood at the White House podium flanked by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The room was packed, reporters, diplomats, and political heavyweights all waiting for what was promised to be a groundbreaking announcement. Trump adjusted his tie, smirked.
I also strongly believe that the Gaza Strip, which has been a symbol of death and destruction for so many decades,
He declared.
the U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site, level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out, create an economic development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area.
Are you proposing the forced displacement of 2 million Palestinians? One journalist demanded. Trump waved his hand dismissively. Oh, come on. It's not forced displacement, it's relocation. And trust me, they'll love what we have planned. Netanyahu nodded in agreement, adding, "This is an unprecedented opportunity for peace and prosperity." But not everyone saw it that way. The backlash was instantaneous. The world reaction on that. Jordan's King Abdullah II quickly rejected the idea. Palestinians will not be displaced from their homeland under any circumstances. Egypt's President al-Sisi called it unacceptable and destabilizing. United Nations Secretary General Guterres warned, forcing people out of their homes is not redevelopment, it's ethnic cleansing. Even Turkey's Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan was blunt. This is about control, not peace. Across Europe, outrage spread like wildfire. Josep Borrell, the European Union's former foreign policy chief, didn't mince words. This is a war crime. Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez called it immoral and a direct threat to Middle Eastern stability. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz was livid. A scandal, he declared. In Paris, Emmanuel Macron paced furiously in his office. This proves why Europe must become less dependent on the US, he told his aides. Back in the US, reactions were split. Senator Lindsey Graham scoffed at the plan, calling it a non-starter. Senator Richard Blumenthal agreed, but House Speaker Mike Johnson grinned. Strong and decisive leadership, he said approvingly. Meanwhile, Trump ally Nancy Mace went even further, suggesting that US troops should be deployed to enforce the plan, the Kushner connection. Critics pointed to Jared Kushner, Trump's son-in-law, who had long eyed Gaza's potential for luxury real estate. In 2024, he had hinted Gaza's coastline could be very valuable. Now, Trump's company was reportedly securing billion-dollar investment deals to rebuild the region, raising suspicions that this wasn't just about humanitarian aid, it was about profit. Reports leaked that Kushner had been quietly brokering investment deals to rebuild Gaza for private gain. A journalist cornered him at a gala in Dubai. "Mr. Kushner, is it true you've been securing UAE and Saudi funding for Gaza's redevelopment?" Kushner gave a tight-lipped smile. "We're exploring opportunities for economic growth." "For Palestinians?" the journalist pressed. Kushner's smile never wavered. "For the future." A logistical and ethical nightmare. Beyond the politics, the plan faced insurmountable challenges. Number 1. Mass relocation nightmare. Where would 2 million Palestinians go? Jordan and Egypt had already refused to take them. Number 2. Legal and ethical backlash. Forced displacement is a war crime under international law. Number 3. Palestinian resistance. Gaza's people had endured decades of war. They weren't leaving quietly. Number 4. Regional instability. This could ignite new conflicts across the Middle East. Echoes of history. ethnic cleansing. Historians began drawing uncomfortable comparisons to the ethnic cleansing of Jews in Europe before and after World War I. Forced displacement. Just as Jews were driven from their homes, Palestinians were now being pushed out of Gaza. Systematic oppression. Jews had faced seizure of property and exile. Palestinians were facing the same fate: international indifference. Much like the world hesitated to stop Jewish expulsions, leaders were now debating instead of acting. Would history repeat itself? Back in Washington, Trump faced the press again, smirking. Look, folks, this is how you make peace. You take something broken and you fix it. A reporter fired back, without Palestinian consent? Trump shrugged. They'll come around. As world leaders condemned the plan, the question remained: was this Trump's boldest diplomatic move or his most audacious business deal?